the boys are using as an advantage. So when you look at it holistically, we will see that even the Nigerian constitution allows it.
Some of the stories making headlines. Senate screens ex-CDS Christopher Musa as Minister of Defense. Tinubu tax service chiefs on security operations. As viral video sparks alarm, Edo Assembly summons Osawaru. Full. Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as Nigeria's new Minister of Defense after an extensive screening session that lasted nearly 5 hours on Wednesday. Lawmakers commended his service record, strategic security insights, and commitment to strengthening national defense structures. Speaking during the screening, General Musa expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for the opportunity to serve and appreciated the National Assembly, the armed forces, and Nigerians for their continual support. He pledged to work tirelessly to ensure the country becomes safer and more secure. National security requires collective efforts. He also urged citizens to take responsibility by providing timely information. General Musa, while speaking to journalists after the screening, commended the Senate for a thorough screening process, saying the senators and reflected a shared desire for peace across the country. He reassured Nigerians that he is prepared to deliver on his mandate and strengthen public confidence in security architecture. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu has issued fresh directives to the nation's service chiefs, insisting they must deliver better and faster results in ongoing security operations. At a meeting in the State House, Tinubu demanded stronger coordination, improved efficiency, and sharper execution of strategies against terrorism, banditry, and rising violent attacks. The president assured Nigerians of a safer environment as the festive season approaches. Security chiefs during the meeting pledged renewed commitment to meeting the president's expectations and stabilizing the country. Also from the presidency, President Tinubu has unveiled the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem, announcing a combined donation of 320 million naira in support of fallen heroes and serving troops. Tinubu donated 200 million naira, the National Assembly added 100 million naira, and the FCT minister contributed 20 million naira. The president urged Nigerians to honor military sacrifices and unveiled a digital thank you platform to allow citizens to send messages of appreciation to troops. On security matter, gunmen have abducted 5 students of the Rivers State University in a fresh attack near the institution, heightening concern over rising insecurity around the campus. The assailants reportedly struck in the early hours of Wednesday, seizing the students and killing a security guard assigned to the area. A representative of the Social Science Students Association of Nigeria, Mariam Odugweru, confirmed the incident and said students were increasingly distressed by recurring security breaches. She noted that 4 students were initially reportedly abducted before the number was updated to 5, stressing that the community was shaken by the killing of the guard, who was shot with an automatic rifle. The Vice-Chancellor of Rivers State University, Professor Isaac Zeb Obipi, described the incident as troubling and said the university management had begun engaging the state government on immediate rescue efforts. He also noted the institution would work closely with security agencies to locate the abducted students and ensure their safe return. He reiterated the university's commitment to protecting students and restoring calm to the academic environment. Still on security matter, the 38 church worshippers abducted in Eruku in the Ekiti local government area of KWARA State have finally reunited with their families days after officials declined to release them, despite announcing their rescue. The victims were abducted on November 18 during a special Thanksgiving service at CAC Oke Shegun, Eruku, where 3 persons were killed. A statement from Dada Sunday, the chief press secretary to the chairman of the Ekiti local government area, Olawale Awelewa, confirmed that the abductees were officially handed over to the chairman in Ilorin by Governor Abdurrahman, marking the end of a coordinated rescue involving federal and state security agencies. In a related development, the Nigerian army has rescued 18 abducted victims in separate operations across Borno and Kogi states. In Borno, 12 people, 7 women and 5 children, November 14, along the Goza-Limankara Road, mountains under Operation Desert Sanity 4. The victims received medical care before being handed over to local authorities. However, in KWARA State, 2 women have been kidnapped by bandits in a separate event. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Nigeria's First Lady, Remi Tinubu, has emphasized the need for greater societal commitment to persons with disabilities, urging a renewed push for inclusion and empowerment nationwide. Speaking on Wednesday during the observance of the 2025 International Day of Persons with Disabilities, she said the nation must ensure that every citizen, regardless of physical or cognitive ability, has the opportunity to live independently, participate fully in social and economic life, and contribute meaningfully to national development. She further noted that the theme for this year's observance, Fostering Disability Inclusive Societies for Advancing Social Progress, should serve as a renewed call for removing barriers that limit the full participation of persons with disabilities. In a related development, Senator Tinubu on Wednesday launched a nationwide empowerment program for persons living with disabilities as part of the Renewed Hope Initiative Social Investment Program. The exercise, unveiled in Anambra State on Wednesday to mark the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities, is being implemented simultaneously across the 36 states. The Federal Capital Territory and the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association. At the state launch at the Lighthouse in Oka, wife of the Anambra State Governor, Dr. Nonye Soludo, represented by the Deputy Governor's wife, Lady Oluchi Ibezim, affirmed that the initiatives reflects the commitment of the First Lady to improving the livelihoods of the less privileged through sustainable business support. She announced that 250 persons in each state and the FCT will receive 200,000 naira as business recapitalization grants to strengthen their small-scale businesses and enhance their financial independence. She further disclosed that each state, alongside the FCT and the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, will receive 50 million naira for onward distribution to beneficiaries. According to her, no fewer than 9,500 people living with disabilities nationwide are expected to benefit from the initiative, amounting to 1.9 billion naira in total. Moving on, the Senate on Wednesday advanced an amendment to the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, seeking the death penalty for kidnappers and anyone who finances, enables, or provides information to them. Sponsored by Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele, the bill classifies kidnapping and related crimes as terrorism, giving security agencies wider powers to track and prosecute offenders. Bamidele said kidnapping had become a commercialized and militarized threat that now bears the characteristics of terrorism. Key senators, including Adams Oshomole, Orji Uzokalu, Abamuru, and Victor Ume, backed the proposal, with several urging tougher penalties amid rising nationwide abductions, with the session presided over by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The Senate unanimously approved the amendment bill for further legislative work and referred it to the Committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, National Security and Intelligence, and Interior, as the committees are expected to report back within 2 weeks. Lawmakers at the National Assembly are taking steps to overhaul Nigeria's emergency response system. A new bill before the Senate is proposing a single 3-digit toll number for all emergency rescue situations. Supporters of the legislation says it could end the use of confusing, fragmented hotlines and ultimately save more lives. This report tells us more.
Lawmakers at the National Assembly are pushing for a unified response system to strengthen the country's emergency services. At the center of the discussion is a new proposal seeking the creation of a single 3-digit toll number that Nigerians can call for all emergency situations, from accidents and fires to security threats and medical rescue. Sponsors of the bill, including Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua of Katsina Central, Senator Ali Ndume of Borno South, and Senator Tahir Mongono of Borno North, said the current system is fragmented, with different agencies operating separate numbers that often confuse citizens in moments of distress. They argued that single toll line will improve response time, coordination, and public confidence in rescue operations nationwide.
This show that close to 90% of Nigerians own mobile phones. Therefore, a toll-free emergency number will go a long way in ensuring that Nigerians in distress are just a dial away from the relevant emergency institutions. The number will provide a one-stop shop for receiving distress calls from the public and dispatching the same to appropriate response agencies.
The impediments that or challenges we are having during this insecurity, heightened insecurity, is lack of proper communication or effective communication to the various affected agencies. If we do this, I think we are enhancing and we are also contributing to solving the security challenges and other related criminalities or emergencies that we are facing.
What this bill seeks to achieve is to further give strength and muscular expression to the need for the general public to report what they see by having a dedicated emergency line where they will report what they see, as opposed to multiplicity of emergency lines that we have across the nooks and crannies of the country.
A bill for now to establish a nationwide toll-free emergency number for reporting of emergencies throughout the Federation and for related matters 2025 SB 402 second reading taken.
If passed, the National Emergency Toll Service Bill will mandate all emergency agencies to operate under one harmonized dispatch center. Lawmakers say the initiative is critical to saving lives, especially in remote communities where victims struggle to reach the right responders during crisis.
The Authority of Nigeria has called on domestic airlines to review their flight schedules ahead of the busy Yuletide period to reduce delays and operational disruptions. The agency made the appeal during the stakeholder engagement in Lagos today, where it warned that the December to January rush often strains airport operations. FAAN Managing Director Olubunmi Kuku said the authority has begun holding weekly operational meetings with airlines, ground handlers, and other service providers to improve coordination during the festive season. She noted that several operational upgrades are underway, including repairs to faulty cooling systems, improved power supply, and enhanced sanitation across airport terminals. Chairman of the FAAN Governing Board, Abdullahi Ganuje, pledged continued support for measures aimed at improving passenger experience, emphasizing the need for better infrastructure, digital solution, unified security architecture, and stronger staff welfare to ensure long-term operational efficiency. Kogi State has taken a major step towards shaping its economic direction for the upcoming year as Governor Usman Ododo on Tuesday unveiled a 820.49 billion naira budget proposal for 2026. The fiscal plan, which places strong emphasis on shared prosperity, sustainable growth, and improved public services, outlines the administration's priorities for boosting productivity, strengthening key sectors, and enhancing the overall welfare of residents.
Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has presented an 820.49 billion naira budget proposal for the 2026 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. The plan, tagged Budget of Shared Prosperity, Driving Sustainable Growth for All, represents a major increase from the previous year and is designed to boost welfare, production capacity, enterprise growth, and human capital development. Governor Ododo said the budget targets stronger agricultural output, industrial expansion, and an improved contribution of small and medium-scale enterprises to the state's gross domestic produce.
Our fiscal proposal is titled Budget of Shared Prosperity, Driving Sustainable Growth for All. This theme reflects our commitment to equitable development and inclusive governance. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2026 budget is anchored on a balanced fiscal framework that prioritizes stability, efficiency, and transparency.
The budget divides a total between recurrent and capital expenditures, with capital spending geared toward infrastructure, education, healthcare, and agribusiness, areas the administration says will deliver long-term sustainable growth. The Assembly Speaker, Umar Yusuf Aliyu, commended the governor's fiscal discipline and commitment to development, while calling for legislative support to ensure the budget meets citizens' needs.
It's over to us remain committed to a budget review process that is thorough, transparent, people-oriented, and development-driven. We assure Your Excellency of our readiness to give the budget legislative accelerated yet diligent consideration consistent with global best legislative practice.
The 2026 appropriation bill is expected to undergo legislative consideration in the coming days as the Assembly begins scrutiny of sectoral allocations and revenue assumptions.
Also, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun on Wednesday presented a 1.668 trillion naira budget proposal for 2026 to the State House of Assembly, titled the Budget of Sustainable Legacy. It aims to enhance revenue transparency, expand the tax base, and strengthen fiscal sustainability without adding burdens on residents. Speaking during the presentation at the Assembly complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta, Abiodun emphasized that the budget comprises 509.88 billion naira from internally generated revenue, 554.81 billion naira from federal allocations, and 518.90 billion naira from capital receipts, including loans and grants. The Speaker of the House, Oludaisi Elemide, said the presentation fulfills a constitutional requirement for prudent public fund management and highlighted recent legislative initiatives promoting democracy and youth engagement, underscoring the Assembly's commitment to democracy and good governance. And in politics, the ruling All Progressive Congress has officially announced meetings of its National Caucus and National Executive Committee scheduled to hold on Monday, 15th December 2025 and Tuesday, 16th December 2025 respectively. Both meetings are set to take place at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, FCT. This is according to an official notice signed by the APC National Secretary, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, shared on the party website on Wednesday. The National Caucus meeting will convene on Monday, 15th December 2025 at 6 p.m. The National Caucus is one of the organs of the party under Article 11 of the APC Constitution. It will bring together key stakeholders, including the National Chairman, National Secretary, and some members of the party's National Working Committee. The next meeting is slated for Tuesday, 16 December 2025 at 12 p.m. This is one of the organs of the party under Article 13.1 of the APC Constitution. Moving on, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, loyal to Governor Seyi Makinde, has declared Olugbenga Adebayo as the winner of the party's 2025 governorship primary election in Osun State. Amidst an ongoing internal crisis within the national leadership of PDP, the party conducted its gubernatorial primary election in Osogbo, the state capital. Announcing the results, the chairman, Electoral Committee, Umpre Aba, announced Olugbenga Adebayo as the winner of the primary election. In his reaction to the exercise, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adewale Egbedun, alongside some members of the Assembly, stormed the venue in anger, describing the exercise as illegal. He alleged Governor Seyi Makinde of masterminding crisis in Osun PDP for his selfish interest.
20, we told you earlier that one of the candidates withdrew. The candidate that got the remaining of the Adebayo, 919 votes. He stands elected.
If Governor Seyi Makinde is desperate to become president come 2027, he should use another state as a tool, not Osun State. We are PDP members, one of our PDP members, in a state whereby we have 25 House of Assembly members, a speaker, we have 5 House of Rep members, we have a senator, and a governor from another state will come to our state to dictate for us. We won't take that. We won't take that. And this is a message to everybody that we won't take this anymore. We are leaders of our party and we won't take this anymore. They came here to do what I can call a drama, and this will be the end of it.
In a related development, the Osun State Caucus in the House of Representatives on Wednesday accused Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde of attempting to interfere in Osun politics by importing talks and political jobbers to conduct a governorship primary in the states. In a statement issued in Abuja, the caucus, all members of the People's Democratic Party, rejected Tuesday's governorship primary and warned the purported winner, Adebayo Adedamola, not to present himself as a PDP candidate. The members include Bamidele Salam, Mudashiru Lukman Alani, Akani Clements, Ademola, Adewale Maruf Adebayo, Adetunji Abidemi Olushola, and Oladebo Lanre Omoleye. Condemning what they described as a purported governorship primary orchestrated with outsiders from Ibadan, the lawmakers stated that Makide's conduct reflects desperation for regional political influence and amounts to untoward behavior capable of destabilizing Osun's political environment. They further emphasized that the PDP has established procedures for primaries, including the election of ward ad hoc and national delegates, without which no primary can be considered valid, reiterating their commitment to the PDP Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution, and the Electoral Act. The lawmakers urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to discard the results of the alleged primaries and ensure adherence to proper procedures in selecting candidates. The Accord Party has said it will welcome Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke into its fold to pursue his second-term ambition in the 2026 governorship election. This follows Adeleke's resignation from the People's Democratic Party over a lingering leadership crisis in the state chapter. Speaking in an interview on Wednesday, the Lagos State Chairman of Accord, Dele Oladeji, described the party as a more stable platform for the governor to seek re-election. He said if Adeleke joins the party, its members would work to secure its success at the polls. Adeleke, who is seeking a second tenure in the 2026 off-cycle governorship election, is considering a more stable political platform ahead of the poll. Let's join Happiness Akawo for more stories in the business sector.
Thank you and welcome to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced sweeping revision to its cash handling regulations, removing all limits to cash deposits and raising the weekly withdrawal cap across all channels to 500,000 naira for individuals and 5 million naira to corporate entities. The changes, disclosed in a circular titled Revised Cash-Related Policy and signed by Dr. Rita CK, Director of Financial Policy and Regulation Department, take effect on January 1, 2026. Under the revised framework, the cumulative deposit limited previously imposed on bank customers has been eliminated, along with charges and excess deposits. Withdrawal rules has also been streamlined, while ATM cash outs remains capped as 100,000 naira daily and 500,000 naira weekly. They now form part of the overall withdrawal limit across all channels, including POS transactions. CBN further directed banks to stock all currency denominations in ATMs and maintain the 100,000 naira limit on overall the counter third-party check encashments, while revenue-generating accounts of government entities and accounts of microfinance and primary mortgage bank remain exempted from the new rules. The long-standing exemption granted to embassies, diplomatic mission, and donor agencies has been withdrawn. Contractors under the Association of Indigenous Contractors and Artisans of Nigeria on Tuesday stormed the federal government Minister of Finance in Abuja, barricading the entrance in protest over unpaid debt owned by the federal government. The protesters, carrying placards, accused the federal government of abandoning its financial obligations despite completing various projects across the country. They insisted that many members were already facing bankruptcy, while some could no longer meet basic family responsibilities due to the delayed payments. Speaking during the demonstration, Innocent Asuleman, a member of the Association Political Committee, said the protest became necessary after several unfulfilled promises from government officials regarding their outstanding payments. Another protester, Abdullah Yamani, an ex-member of the association, expressed frustration over what he described as government's lack of commitment to contractors who had delivered on their jobs. The protesters called on Minister of Finance to urgently intervene and ensure all verified debts owed to the contractors are declared without further delays. Still on business, domestic flight ticket prices have soared sharply nationwide as Nigerians prepare for festive travel. Some routes are now above 300,000 naira for a one-way economic ticket. Flights to South-South and Southeastern states have been the highest spike, with fares that previously cost about 120,000 naira are now selling for over 300,000 naira. For instance, a Lagos to Asaba flight recently rose to 337,500 naira on peak days. Airlines cite a shortage of serviceable aircraft, rising passengers' demand, and high operational costs, including maintenance abroad, as key factors. Many travelers are now reconsidering air travel entirely, opting for road transport to avoid the soaring ticket prices. And lastly, on business, the Lagos State government has announced the Maiden Lagos SMME Exclusive and Eco Round City Trade Fair, scheduled for December 8 to 14 at the National Stadium, Surulere. That is about 3,000 MSMEs. The fair aims to deepen grassroots enterprise, development, and expand opportunities across the key Lagos government areas, including Surulere, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Etiosa, and Apapa. Lagos State Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment, Folashade Bada Ambrose, said the initiative will boost capacity building, business expansion, and interlocal government area collaboration. The commissioner described the upcoming fair as a celebration of enterprise, resilience, creativity, and community, adding that the events will provide formal and micro enterprises with access to markets, knowledge, and partnership, ultimately helping lift thousands out of poverty. She also disclosed that the fair will lay the groundwork for developing a comprehensive database of SME and informal sector across the participating local government area to help the government deliver targeted support. And that's all on business. It's back to you for the rest of the bulletin.
Happiness. And on the foreign scene, the death toll from floods and landslides in Indonesia has risen to 708, according to the country's National Disaster Agency. The updated figure was announced during a late Tuesday press conference, revising an earlier tally of 753 deaths posted on the agency's website, though officials did not explain the discrepancy. The casualties have accumulated over the past week as extreme weather continues to batter the region. Nearly 900 people have died across Southeast Asia in recent weeks as a result of persistent flooding, landslide, and a series of destructive storms, including back-to-back typhoons that hit the Philippines and Vietnam. Environmental experts and local authorities in Indonesia says widespread deforestation on the island of Sumatra has intensified the impact of the disasters, contributing to the unusually high number of deaths and widespread destruction. Indonesia's disaster agency said response teams are focusing on delivering emergency aid via land, sea, and air, while also working to clear blocked roads and repair damaged infrastructure. Spokesperson Abdul Muhari expressed hope that logistical efforts would accelerate in the coming days, stressing the urgency of restoring access to affected communities. Moving on, the death toll from Hong Kong's worst fire in decades has risen to 159, authorities confirmed on Wednesday. Police disclosed that the victims range from an infant to a 97-year-old as search teams continued combing through the charred apartment complex. More bodies were recovered in the ruins, some discovered on rooftops and stairwells, while others had been reduced to ashes. Residents who escaped the holy block spared from the blaze were briefly allowed to return to their homes to retrieve belongings, while hundreds displaced into temporary shelters struggled to rebuild their lives. The 159 bodies recovered, officials say 140 have been identified, 91 females and 49 males, aged between 1 and 97. Among the 31 people still missing are foreign domestic workers from Indonesia and the Philippines. The Donald Trump administration has ordered an immediate halt to immigration applications from nationals of 19 countries already subject to United States travel bans or restriction, according to a memo issued on Tuesday by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The 4-page directive states that the pause, which applies to both green card and citizenship applications, is intended to allow for heightened security screenings. The decision affects applicants from countries including Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, nations already under full or partial entry bans signed by President Trump in June. Additional restrictions apply to nationals from 7 other countries, among them Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, and Venezuela. The move comes just days after 2 National Guard members were shot while on patrol in Washington, D.C., an attack that left 1 soldier dead and another critically wounded. The suspects, an Afghan national who entered the U.S. legally during the Biden administration, pleaded not guilty to murder charges on Tuesday. He was later granted asylum after Trump returned to office. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem offered even sharper criticism, saying she urged the president to expand restrictions.
Thank you. In entertainment, Nigerian music star Innocent Idibia, known as Tubaba, has sparked widespread concern after a disturbing video of a heated altercation with his wife, Edo lawmaker Natasha Osawuru, resurfaced online. The footage recorded in a London airport shop shows the couple in a tense exchange, followed by another clip allegedly British police escorting the singer. Amid the renewed uproar, Tubaba posted a brief but alarming message on his Instagram story saying, "Help me." His brother Hyacinth Idibia also raised alarm, stating that the singer has been suffering for too long, adding to growing public fears over the musician's well-being. The circulating videos follow earlier reports of a confrontation in the UK, where police intervened, and a recent Instagram live section which broadcasted Daddy Freeze, in which both parties were seen arguing. Neither Tubaba nor Osawuru has issued an official statement addressing the escalating crisis. Two-Face Idibia debunked the circulating post, insisting that he's fine and that someone else uploaded it on his IG. He reassures fans that all families' matters will be resolved soon.
Please, I need everybody to calm down. I need everybody to cease fire. They want to resolve all these issues. People will get issue for house, maybe today. But this is getting out of hand. Please, friends, family, everybody, cease fire. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I am perfectly fine. I did not pull that. Please. Please. I'm okay. Please.
The situation has now drawn political repercussions as the Edo State House of Assembly has summoned Osawuru to appear before his Committee on Ethics and Privileges within 1 week over allegations of misconduct. The Assembly said the viral altercation may have brought the House into dispute, and the committee is expected to report back in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, comedian singer Nasboy, who said he has admired Tubaba since age 16, described recent viral clips as painful and damaging to the singer's legacy. He said many fans still believe strongly in him and are hoping to see the respected Tubaba the due of admiring. Moving on, popular comedian Chukwuemeka Ejeku, widely known as Sabinus, has formally confirmed that his marriage to his partner, Sienna Chapman, has come to an end. The comedian made a disclosure during a TikTok live session, putting to rest months of speculation surrounding his relationship. Sabinus explained that the marriage, which took place in 2023, ended peacefully and by mutual understanding. He stressed that despite the separation, there is no hostility between both parties. According to him, he and his ex-wife has chosen to maintain a cordial relationship, with their daughter's welfare remaining their shared priority. The comedian also used the opportunity to debunk rumors circulating on social media, including claims of domestic violence and infidelity. In his words, I quote, "I'm not married. My marriage ended peacefully. The mom and I are good. My daughter is okay and she's doing fine." End of quote. His confirmation follows weeks of public curiosity after the couple consistently dismissed earlier reports of trouble in their marriage. And lastly, on entertainment, the final burial of late singer Mohbad has been delayed as his father Joseph Aloba insists the singer's body will only be laid to rest once a court-ordered DNA test on the singer's son, Liam Aloba, is completed. The demand emerged during a court appearance on December 2nd, 2025, when the paternity suit resumed, and the father reiterated that the DNA test is the most important thing. Joseph Aloba argues the test is necessary to set lingering doubt over paternity and to ensure clarity on inheritance rights before granting approval for burial. Meanwhile, Mohbad's widow Omomi Cynthia Aloba has accused the father of delaying the process of rejecting proposed medical facility. For now, burial, closure and estate resolution remain on hold as the family and court wait for the DNA results. And that's much we can take on entertainment. It's back to you for the rest of the bulletin.
Thank you and welcome to the world of sports. The Nigerian Football Federation has announced that the Super Eagles will open their training camp for the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Cairo, Egypt on December 10th. The confirmation came on Tuesday as head coach Eric Sekou Shell unveiled a 55-man provisional squad featuring Captain William Truss Ekong, striker Victor Osimhen, midfielder Wilfred Ndidi and goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali. Also included are Maduka Okoye, Calvin Bassey, Shemi Ajayi, Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi, Ademola Lukman, Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon and Chidera Ejuke. 5 Nigerian Premier Football League players, Abdulrasheed Shehu, Ebenezer Hakot, Ekesin Okore, Chisom Orji and Adekunle Adeleke made the list. The NFF said a final squad of 28 players will be selected in the coming days, with the team expected to converge in Egypt for training and friendly matches ahead of the tournament kickoff on December 21st in Morocco. The provisional list features 6 goalkeepers, 18 defenders, 12 midfielders and 19 forwards drawn from clubs across Europe, Africa and the NPFL. Moving on, the 2025 Confederation of African Football Awards have sparked controversy following the release of the full voting result, with several Nigerian players and officials drawing criticism for their voting choices. The awards, held in Rabat, Morocco on November 19th, recognized outstanding performers across African football for the 2025 season. In the Men's African Player of the Year category, Morocco's Akraf Hakimi won the 533 points ahead of Egypt's Mohamed Salah, who won 317 points, and Nigeria's Victor Osimhen, who won 240 points. The release of individual ballots revealed that some Nigerian delegates ranked their compatriots unusually low, prompting accusations of bias and undermining the perceived fairness of the awards. One of the most cited examples involved former Nigerian international Daniel Amokachi, who reportedly ranked Osimhen 5th, awarding him only a single point. Social media users and football fans expressed outrage, describing the vote as self-sabotage and questioning the commitment of Nigerian delegates to promoting national players. Controversy also emerged in the women's categories. Morocco's Ghislaine Chebak won the Women's Player of the Year award, while Nigeria's Rashidat Ajibade finished second. Reports indicated that some ballots placed Nigerian players and teams unusually low, even in the categories where they eventually won, such as the Super Falcons in the Women's National Team of the Year category. Critics of the 2025 results argue that personal, institutional, or political biases may have influenced the voting, raising questions about credibility of the awards and the objectivity of the process. The controversies has prompted calls for reforms and greater transparency in CAF's voting procedures, as observers suggest that clearer guidance, stricter oversight, and possible adjustments to the voting structure could help restore confidence in the awards and ensure that the results reflect on-field performance rather than internal biases. And lastly, Samuel Chukwueze and Alex Iwobi produced standout performances on Tuesday night as Fulham pushed Manchester City to the limit in a 9-goal Premier League thriller at Craven Cottage. City struck first through Erling Haaland, who ended his goal drought and reached 100 Premier League goals in record time with a 17-minute finish. He later assisted Tijani Regindas for City's second before Phil Foden fired a long-range strike to make it 3-0 before halftime. Fulham pulled one back through Emil Smith-Rowe, but City restored control after the break as Foden added his second and a deflection off Burge made it 5-1. Iwobi ignited Fulham's response with precise long-range effort in the 57th minute before substitute Chukwueze took over the contest. The Nigerian winger reduced the deficit to 5-3 in the 72nd minute and added another 8 minutes later to set up a tense finish. Calvin Bassey delivered a strong defense display for Fulham, making key interceptions and late blocks to keep the game within reach, while City survived a late scare when Josko Vadio cleared Josh King's effort off the line. And that's all on sports. It's back to you.
That's all on the news at this hour, and thank you for staying tuned. Please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our website at africanews24.ng. I am Lydia Ajayi. Have a blessed evening.